On a roll today, so I'm going to keep going. Uh, I wanted to make a video regarding the science behind coronavirus, and I wanted to make those aware of the unknown science that most of us aren't told. Um, in case you didn't know it, antibodies and all those things that they're talking about in the news are not really the main purpose of our or main method of our immune defense system. It's T cells. And T cells have a much longer memory than antibodies that disappear from us, within a year or so, which is why they tell you they need yearly updates of these vaccines, which we really don't need the vaccine, I don't think, but you be the judge of that. T cell immunity was tested early in the pandemic. It was one of the things I was key in looking for because all the antibody stuff didn't mean anything. And there was a report that came out in March of 2020 that was done by the Brits, that was a study into the T-cell immunity response mechanisms of COVID-19 across 3 control groups. And this is known science, okay? Not the science you heard, because I don't want you to hear this science, because this is true science, and this tells you a reason, a lot of why things are the way they are. Like, why does Texas have much better numbers than the rest of the country? It will make sense in a second, okay? T-cell immunity is, they had 3 control groups. One that was people who had already had COVID-19. Then there was a group that had MERS and SARS, which were the 2 other major coronaviruses that have been birthed onto the earth in the last 20 years or so. SARS, you may remember, because it did make the news. It did kill some people. It was infectious. It was very much, and it came from bats, by the way, which this one had bat and pangolin DNA, which pangolin DNA is, if you know anything about it, very rare animal. Really odd that those things would come in contact with each other, which makes the DNA suspect. But anyway, the third group was anybody else who had not had either of those and had probably just had any of the many coronaviruses that are around the rest of us, per se. Okay? So here's what that study found. It found that people who had COVID-19 had a very strong, robust response and defeated the virus quickly again, about 95%. They also found that a very high percentage, like 90 to 93% of the people who had MERS and SARS, also defeated the coronavirus very quickly. And then in grand cover-up speak language of the scientists who want to obscure the truth, the third group, all they would say was, a surprising number of percentage of the population had strong immune response to the coronavirus and did not experience severe complications from the disease. So let's translate that. Remember I said that Texas has done so much better than other places. We were our masks off over here, and we were the first to do it, and we've been the first to go out in many ways. Well, we have a lot of Asians here. And we have, I remember getting sick in 2013. Whatever happened to SARS and MERS? Ask yourself. Those things are coronaviruses. They travel the world just like this one does. They've been all over the place. And our bodies defeated it faster, but it did travel a lot. And it was in the same circles out of the Asian community, which is why I think we had it here more than other places. And I think I had it. And my ex had it, and it was horrible, and it was a lot like what I hear this one was like, and it lasted for like 10, the after effects lasted for 2 weeks. It was a tough one. You didn't hear any of that science, and that's the real science, and explains why things are the way they are. So be careful of these vaccines. I don't think they're necessary. That'll probably get this video barred.